I was just gonna make noise. Make sure your phones are on mute.
Just cut me off.
What's up, you guys? You are tuned in to an all-new episode of Point of View. I want to welcome Natalia.
Thank
you guys,
you.
we
Welcome
love
back.
having you here.
Thank you,
She's
guys.
so beautiful, isn't she?
Thank you. And before we get into the hot topics of today, we want to say happy birthday to the hot girl Riri.
Yes.
Happy birthday and congratulations to not being the mother of one, but two beautiful babies.
Yes.
Happy 36th birthday, Riri.
36.
Yes, we love you, girl.
Ooh, she be where can you
Also today, in honor of Black History Month, we do want to take the time to honor and remember Mr. Alvin Ailey. If you don't know who he is, he was a choreographer and a Black activist in the Black community. He founded the Alvin Ailey Dance Theater in New York in 1958. And that theater was really just for Black creatives and dancers to go and just be themselves and just thrive in everything that they wanted to be. So thank you, Mr. Alvin Ailey, for creating that space in our community in New York.
Yes.
And
Thank you.
we honor and remember you today.
Yes. Love it. All right, you guys, so let's get into some juicy topics, okay? So on a serious note, do you think it's fair to be held accountable for your actions forever, or should you have a chance to redeem yourself? Chris Brown has been in headlines all weekend. You guys, this man cannot catch a break. The NBA All-Star game has passed, and they notified Chris Brown that he can no longer participate after they confirmed that he could participate. Now, for those of you who don't know, Chris Brown has just been through it, okay? Back in, I don't even remember what year, but he basically was in a domestic violence situation with Rihanna. Speaking of Rihanna, happy birthday. Yeah, sorry to bring up old news, but yeah, he was in a domestic violence situation with Rihanna, and it was super public. Like, it basically, it was one of the highlights of his career. Not really a good highlight, but I just feel like they're still, you know, pinning that on him.
They're dwelling.
Maybe, yeah.
Look at his baby face. Look at him now and that picture.
Yeah.
He was a kid. Like, he
Yeah.
was young, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like they're wrong for pinning that against him for so long. We are all just one accident away of being in the shoes of somebody you want to accuse. Like, we are not perfect. We're human beings. We literally make mistakes. That is what we are designed to do. So to crucify someone for something, a mistake they have done, like, who are we to do that to him?
I just feel like for them to hold Rihanna to such a for them to hold Chris Brown to such a standard of like, we're never going to work with you again, and still not hold Rihanna to that same standard, I just feel like that's wrong, because they were both wrong in that situation. You know what I'm saying? Like, they put their hands on each other. It wasn't just, he wasn't fighting himself. You know, so I feel like if they're gonna hold Chris Brown to that standard, I definitely feel like Rihanna needs to be held to the same standard.
Well, I feel like it's hard because in domestic violence situations, often the woman is gonna get the sympathy because men are supposedly technically stronger. So I don't want to completely weigh in on the situation because I wasn't there, but being that we're not there, it's gonna go more in the woman's defense. That's just naturally how it goes. But I do really feel bad with Chris Brown. One, because it really seems like Rihanna has forgiven him. She tried to have a relationship with him again after that. They've had a few public appearances. It doesn't seem like there's any animosity. And the people, especially the Like all the stuff that they be having going
talk
on.
about it.
Exactly. But y'all want to act like Chris Brown. I mean, and then not even just that, but even what you were saying about how young he was. Like looking at that picture, we don't even recognize that Chris. Like he has children
That's
now.
Chris Breezy.
Exactly. He's apologized multiple times, and it's so sad to think about. Imagine some of the things that we've done, or people that we know have done. Imagine if we were walking with those things and that shame over our head and saying, hey, I wouldn't be sitting right here today.
Right.
No, girl, none of us.
No, okay,
We all
okay.
need a little dirt.
Right.
That's not fair.
Yeah, I mean, like, honestly, he's already gotten the punishment, if you know, for lack of better words, that he got, you know, or
Right.
I'm not gonna say deserved, but
He did community service.
yeah. I mean, he was was he charged? I believe
I think he was.
Yeah, he
was
had 5 years
charged.
of probation.
Yeah.
And he was charged with domestic violence. So he already did his time essentially. And I don't know. And he's apologized multiple times. He's done so many things in the community to kind of like just like show that he's kind of a changed man. And like you guys mentioned, he was young.
He
like,
wasn't
you know.
even barely a man then.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm really tired of the media beating the people that are actually in the situation mad.
Yeah.
How are we beating Rihanna
Exactly.
mad? You know why Rihanna probably forgave him? Because we weren't there. And she probably
Exactly.
put two good
Right.
top
Oh,
up
she
on
did.
that
Oh,
man.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
She's like, I'm not gonna lie.
I already
They
got
doing
him.
you dirty.
I already got him.
But I know I got you.
Right.
No, because he
right.
bit her. And when have you ever bit somebody?
Yeah,
When
that
you,
means
when you
she
bite
had
somebody,
him.
there's nothing you can do. Like there's nothing else you can do. That means she was tagging him,
Yes.
and all he could do was bite. Exactly.
She
So
had to be in such close proximity, like on right here.
exactly.
The
Hello.
bike is crazy.
But you know what I think it is too, and maybe I think that's something that maybe society can work on also is that a lot of times when someone is victimized, we don't speak up enough for, you know, in someone else's defense. Everybody's just kind of going about their day, and then even, you know, us, it sucks, but we have a platform where we're talking about what's being, you know, done to Chris Brown that is wrong. But as a community altogether, we need to do that more and support each other because we've all been through situations like this. But it's easier to say, oh, he did that. We done did all that too.
Yeah,
Did
I'm
all
telling
that. I done bit a few people.
I know Caribbean women are tough women, okay? We tough, okay?
He Bayesian.
She's from the Bahamas.
Yeah.
She's
from Barbados.
she's a tough woman. I'm telling you, she hit that man a good couple
Oh
times.
yeah, oh yeah.
And she
Chris
that
probably
behind-
ain't do much or nothing.
He didn't.
God forgive
She'll
me. Let me
probably-
not say that.
Right.
I don't want to go
He
too far. He
just-
did something.
They're fair skinned.
Yeah.
Right? So the marks look a lot worse than they could possibly actually are. You know what I mean? So like I just feel like Chris, I forgive you, boo. Don't even worry about it.
No, for real. No,
She said,
I
forgive
forgive
you.
you.
Rihanna
Go about
forgives
your
him.
day.
Right.
Rihanna forgives him.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, by the way, this actually happened over 15 years ago. You know.
My
Yeah,
God.
and
it was Ruffles
So,
too.
yeah,
It was
my
Ruffles
God.
that
We're
wouldn't
not
let it
sitting-
go.
Right.
Ruffles was the one that was just like, okay, you know. But then Ruffles they came out and they posted a statement. They said we found out about this when the media found out about it. We didn't know, you know, that he wasn't going to be playing. Now Ruffles. Now you know that they had sent that man an email saying that he was not going to be allowed to play. Stop playing.
Yeah, it really sucks because like for you to get crucified for something that you did over 15 years ago, and I know we're up here laughing, like we're obviously not laughing at the situation. It is a domestic violence case at the end of the day. We're all women, and it really sucks that happened. You know, regardless of the situation, it sucks to even just be in that situation where you're in Rihanna's shoes or Chris Brown's shoes. But I don't think he should continue to get crucified for it, especially because like at this point, like you guys literally told him he could play. Like you literally told him he can play, and last minute you're like, actually. Just kidding. Like just ripping
Hasn't
the
he played
opportunity.
every other celebrity basketball game too?
Right.
He's
and
been
it's like,
playing in the
literally,
game.
You guys literally did this because someone said, no, maybe we shouldn't do this. Maybe this is bad for business because of this thing that he did, 15 years ago. I don't think that's
They were trying to actually remind us and put it back in the forefront of our mind because nobody was thinking about that. When I see Rihanna, I don't think about her getting bit by Chris, and when I think
Right.
about Chris, I don't even see that. And I know we don't even think about that anymore.
They
Like,
weren't even
God.
parents at that time. They're both parents now
Yeah.
of multiple kids.
Exactly. Rihanna has 2 kids. Chris Brown has 3.
Yeah.
and
Big
she's
kids.
not tripping. So why? I don't know why the NBA tripping.
But you know what's even more crazy about it? How they're dragging this out so long. It's been 15 years. But if something happens to you, if you commit a crime, or say even with rape, isn't there a statute of limitation on certain things? You know what I'm saying? Like if something happened to you all these years ago, you can't like
Talk about it no more.
You
Double
can't
jeopardy?
prosecute now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's double
Yeah,
jeopardy.
but even with some rape and different crimes, after a while the statute of limitation times out, and
gotta
if
let
you
it go.
haven't
Shoot.
prosecuted, you can't. So they need to make up something maybe that after a certain amount of years.
Yeah, it's for him.
Yeah,
to,
it's
right,
over.
right.
They want
Chris
black
Brown,
people to
you
do that
listening? You
with
should go press
slavery.
charges.
Exactly.
They want black people to do that with slavery. They'd be like, forget. Why don't you? Why are you still on that? Why are you
Right.
still on slavery? Forget it. You know. How about you forget Chris Brown did that and let him play the game? You
Because he
know,
wasn't
since you-
alone. He was not alone. He was not in there fighting himself.
Yeah.
They were both in there.
Yeah.
So it's like, why are we just holding it over Chris Brown's head? That's not fair.
And this is an all-star game too. Like the actual NBA, like you mentioned, has players who have been in domestic violence.
Hello, talk
And
about
worse.
But it
And
all,
worse.
yeah,
Talk
and
about
worse.
it.
But it all boils down to money. Obviously, an actual NBA player would make 10 times much. The NBA 10 times as much more money
Right.
than like having a celebrity play for one game.
Exactly.
But he couldn't
So-
play. But they didn't they offer him to come sit courtside though?
To benefit
Oh, yeah,
them
they
for the
did.
look.
Right. He said he's not going nowhere where he not welcome. And yeah,
Period.
kudos to you,
Yeah.
buddy.
Period.
Kudos to you, because no, I
Not them
wouldn't go
still
there
trying to
either.
profit.
Not you tell me I could come play and then tell me I can't come play, but you can come sit courtside. I
Right.
wish I would.
On the court I was supposed to be running on?
I wish I would. I wish
I'm
I
going
would.
to that.
What?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Ooh. Well, I mean, I just really hope that, we can overlook this. Again, we're not laughing at the situation. At the end of the day, it's still a domestic violence case. It still sucks to be in Chris Brown's shoes or Rihanna's shoes, but let's forgive him. He already did his community service. He already got charged. Rihanna's not thinking about it. She
Right.
has
Y'all have
Crazy.
forgiven worse. Stop playing.
My
Y'all have forgiven worse.
All of her exes just want to keep dragging.
Oh my
her
gosh,
name.
exactly. Especially Drake, but
Drake too, right?
Yeah, Drake is like super butthurt, But we have to cut to commercial, you guys. We have much more discussion after these messages.
Yay.
Where you going? Don't go nowhere.
You should have grabbed them chips before the show started.
And where do you think you're going? We have more piping hot tea. But this isn't hot tea, though. This is just water.
Hold on, baby. We only got 10 seconds left.
9,
8,
7,
6.
5,
4,
3.
2.
Welcome back. Welcome back, you guys. So we have some more juicy topics for you guys. Okay, so this story has had everyone's mouths dropping, you guys. A Memphis woman has been charged with child neglect and abuse after posting photos of her 5-year-old daughter performing wax services. Now, a lot of people were saying teaching your children tricks and trades, you know, okay, cool, great, but there has to be an age limit. So we have 2 mothers at this table, and I would love to hear you guys' take on this.
You go ahead.
And on top of that, you guys also like work in the beauty industry.
Yes.
Yes. So we could resonate.
Yes, so for sure, I think a lot of things about this. One, I think that I saw a little bit of the post about it, and she had posted something about like, you know, her daughter had did like 25 services, 24, you know,
My God.
veggie
In 9
wax
hours.
services, and she said that she was going to give her all the money to put to an account or whatever. And I felt like, you know, part of it is like, but then it's like, ew, you know, because it's inappropriate on so many levels. Because first of all, that is a very sacred, private area that not only should she not be seeing on a stranger, but I feel like it's just desensitizing her as a child from realizing how private this thing is. And I feel like that can open the door for so many more things, for one. And then I also feel like, you know, one, as far as her being charged with child neglect and what was the other one?
Abuse.
I feel like that's a little sketch, you know, a little bit. I don't know how that will hold up. But, I mean, not that I'm a lawyer or anything. I want it to be, but as far as, you know, that, because I feel like, I don't know if it is neglect. I mean, maybe it's mentally, it's neglectful because you should be teaching your child that this is sacred and it's inappropriate. But I feel like maybe something more along the lines of like child labor laws, because child labor is, you know, exploiting a child for anything that will affect them, you know, making them do work for anything that could affect them emotionally, physically, mentally, all those kind of stuff. So I feel like that could mentally affect the child inappropriately later on down the line. And I feel like a lot of people do things like that and put their kids, especially these days. And I feel like as the parents are getting younger and younger and society is changing and it's all about all the things that it's about now, which is not the ladies and gentlemen of old. I feel like it's just getting crazy. And now you see kids or parents having kids doing all of these inappropriate things. And it scares me as a parent for like my kids in the future tomorrow, because these kids is 3 and they already thugs and goons and waxing coaches.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Like, this is scary.
See, I fully think what she's being charged with is right. You are an adult.
Yeah.
That is a child. And
A toddler.
yeah, and on top of that, okay, let's just like take out the, you know, whatever. You are a beauty service provider. I know you had to go to school for that. You have to, every beauty provider, anybody that's gonna come into contact with like saliva or any kind of bodily whatever, you have to take an OSHA class. OSHA class is basically like, you know, personal protection, like, you know, protecting yourself and your clients from, you know, spreading diseases and bacteria, whatever. Your 5-year-old girl did not take that class. She doesn't even understand the concept of that. Your daughter could literally get herpes because she doesn't know, like, oh, after I touch this, I should not touch my face. You're putting other people at risk, you know, because as a kid, you don't understand those things. Kids are the nastiest human beings in this world.
Imagine she just finished sucking her fingers and then she over there trying to rip wax.
Have you ever been offered a wet fry from a child?
A wet fingers.
It's always wet.
The puff ones.
Wet. So
Yeah.
like I fully think that's neglect. And a point that you brought earlier, being exposed to other women's private areas. At 5, you're still trying to understand your own private area, you know? And for you to be like a good service provider, obviously you've had years to understand your own, so now you can work on other people's, you know? So I fully think that was so irresponsible, very neglectful, very negligent.
It was neglectful, yes.
Very
that was
negligent.
for sure,
Girl.
Can we touch on the women though, like the ignorant women who said, "Yes, let's do this." Like the women that literally sat there, spread their legs wide open for a child. Do she even have the strength to do 24
That's
women?
what I was thinking about.
Like, how does she have the strength? I can't even do a pull-up at the gym. How does she have the strength to literally
My wax lady
rip
be
wax? Yeah, how does a child so young have that strength to rip the wax off?
How is she
of a
seeing
woman?
over the table? Is there accommodations for her?
No, that's what
I think
made
they
me
like
feel
leaning off the side, but then it's like right in her face. That is so nasty.
That's what made me feel like maybe the mom, and I'm hoping, maybe she was posting it to try to make it look like she was doing something cool or good for or with her daughter, but maybe it didn't actually go like that because have you ever gotten waxed?
It's traumatizing.
It takes a lot of strength. And I've gone to, places before to get waxed. I go to this one place and, I've had providers that aren't like maybe as experienced. And after I leave, I've literally called or when I'm checking out, I let them know, hey, she's nice. I'm going to leave her a tip because it's proper, but you need to put her down on my list to never wax me again because sometimes they be inching with the pull and you got to do a good clean snatch.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to figure out, maybe the baby really didn't do it.
Yeah. Because
Maybe she was helping her mom put the powder on.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not siding with her now.
Right.
Because I have a kid. I own my shops, right? My baby is 1, okay? So I do hope and pray that one day my baby can become a service provider. Reason being is because the beauty industry is not going to fail. It's COVID proof, recession proof, everything proof. Because at the end of the day, people are going to want to feel and look good, right? So I do want my baby to pick a trade, any trade.
Right.
Tell me, and mom's gonna make sure you could get to me.
Right. Teach her that
CPS if
entrepreneur.
she's 5 years old and they're
Yeah.
doing lashes.
I feel like now being an esthetician, you have to have a license, right, to do certain things. There are different levels. Now you could be a shampoo girl without a license if you want to do hair. Now, like I said, it could be a possibility she was just putting the powder, but being exposed because you can get a wax while you're on your cycle, right?
Ooh,
So
Jesus.
are you sure were these 24 women good at that moment? But still, not every woman cleans and maintains themselves the same way. So you exposed your child to you exposed your child to that,
pond of
right? This is
fish.
not, braid this girl down for me and she's 5. That's okay. Can you
Pond of
wash
fish is crazy. I can't.
I'm just so disgusted with this
and
whole
also
topic.
with being an esthetician, I really respect my estheticians at the shop because that is the one job you have to have facial control.
Yeah.
Kids,
Ooh, girl.
now the baby going to daycare and saying, oh my God, my mommy had me do 25 ladies and this one lady was so weird. Whoa, like you're exposing your child and other children to so many different
And imagine
You
the
have to have
dirty
a level of
buzz.
maturity to do
Yeah,
that.
so
A 5-year-old doesn't have that.
I get it. She's a service provider for only that one thing because I have a beauty bar, so my daughter gets exposed to whatever, all services. Now maybe she had that. My mom is a waxer, which is fine, and I love what mommy does because my daughter follows me. Now she just walks up and down the shop. Why? I walk up and down the shop. Right now. Is that the only service she's seeing her mom does and she wants to be like her mom? It's very possible. So maybe she took a picture and propped her there for a second.
I don't think so.
I don't think she really could have do that pull. I don't
There's
think
no
so.
way. There is no way.
No, I don't think she should be in there at all.
She shouldn't be in a room
at
at
all.
all.
For sure.
Because it's women literally showing their entire privacy. You know what I'm
Open
saying?
it
Like
up.
they're not covering anything because they're trying to get every little piece of hair.
Yeah.
So you're literally exposing a toddler to just like wide open.
But I wonder if it's gonna come out,
That it was
eventually
fake.
that maybe she was doing the greeting and she had them sign in the client forms, or maybe I don't know.
No, that baby was in the video, like
absolutely
right
not.
there in
Yeah,
between somebody's
because
legs.
no,
No,
it
they
said
didn't show
something.
that.
She was in between somebody's
But
legs.
I'm not gonna lie, you go to these Korean shops to get your nails done, and they have their kids literally servicing people, filing nails, starting pedicure.
I
They
heard
ain't
that.
looking
I
at
know
Nobody private parts.
Yeah,
They
but
still wrong. They
they're
still wrong.
wrong.
Under the child
Right.
labor laws.
Absolutely.
Yes, they're
They're
still
wrong.
wrong. But at the same time, they not back there
It's the
while
service.
Yeah, no,
It's the
'cause
service.
I don't
Shaquana
think
getting a
'cause
wax.
I don't think that would have been an argument if she had one male client. If she had one, at least one male client, that wouldn't have even been an argument. Like,
Oh no.
absolutely not. Yeah,
No, 100% child negligence.
It's a child negligence regardless. A private area is a private area.
all of those women should be
people.
sex offenders.
Oh, absolutely.
No, for sure.
I
all of
100%
them.
agree with
For sure.
that.
All 24.
Okay, all 24 of them were adult women. That's the thing.
But listen, what if they didn't know? What
I'm
if they
not
got
agree-
on the table and they're sitting
Tally.
down and then this little person just comes up?
You're not gonna tell me that even though that little child walked up to them, they still said, "Well, okay, let's do it."
I know you heard a little voice.
Like-
No, 5-year-olds, they don't talk like us. They talk like this.
Right.
So you mean to tell me you heard a little voice saying, okay, well,
Are
that
you
was
ready?
all for today. You didn't look down to see.
Come on now, you can't know. It's,
Yeah.
there's
You
no
What if one
justifying
of the
it.
people? What if one of the people actually complained on her too? I'm sure somebody had to.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I'm
After
sure
they
somebody-
open their labs.
Clearly not.
I don't think
They had
so. I
somewhere
think
to go.
they paid. I think those 24 women paid, and she's only getting exposed because she posted the pictures.
Yeah.
So she could have
She
been riding
posted
with
it.
for a long
She
time.
tried to post it and try to make it seem like it was, oh, I'm doing this so
She
my
had
so I
good
could save.
intentions.
No, she could still
So do
take
you
the
think-
money and
do you
take a
think she
percentage
was
of what she's
wrongfully
earning.
Convicted?
I feel like she wasn't wrongfully convicted, maybe because she actually did it. But I feel like maybe she's wrongfully convicted because that wasn't her intention. And isn't that the whole point of crime? Isn't it about what the intent was? So maybe she'll be okay because she didn't have a bad intention.
Well,
We're running out of time, but in my opinion, I think she was rightfully convicted. You are an adult.
okay,
Okay. Yo.
And the 24, y'all on y'all way.
Right.
She's a
Facts.
mother learning.
Y'all on your way.
Don't put your baby
Yeah, you can't be a mother learning. Your child
It's
is here.
inappropriate, but I don't think now her mother should not have,
I
she should have a
understand.
kid, yeah.
Well, we are running out of time, you guys. Catch us back here tomorrow, same time, same place. Bye. Bye.